rise up from the ashes. Yeah. I realize no one's watching right now, but it's a secret tool that'll help us for later. Alrighty, I'll just pop into my talk the trash. No, stream the stream. That's the one. And yeah. Oh, well, we've got 2 viewers now. Excellent. Hey, how's it going? Not sure. I honestly don't know. 1 viewer. Hey, how's it going? I honestly don't know if YouTube counts the like my playback on YouTube Studio as a quote unquote viewer. But yeah, that's just how it is. G'day collaborators and welcome to today's live stream. We're going to be continuing on right where we left off in the previous stream. I'm wondering if I should just cut this action here to have her automatically go in front of Vinyl, because I do want that. I want a shot like this, so I am gonna have to do all of the scene build. It's fine. It's fine. I do want a shot like this where Ruby's in front of Vinyl. And actually animating Ruby to walk in front of Vinyl that way is going to be a little bit challenging. And I've got another one of those transition pieces, transition sounds in the song, like what you can hear here. That bit it, did it, bit it, did it. And so I can use the same thing as I did at the beginning of this scene to make Ruby in front of Vinyl already, and I can continue on the motif of the TV stuff, and we'll see what happens. This little part here is incredibly important. One thing I find many people not fully comprehend, or at least understand, when it comes to SFM, is that when you blade a shot, the flexes, especially the procedural flexes on like the pony's eyes and the mouth, don't set correctly. They don't set instantly to what you want them to. So it's always important to have a little bit of trailing intro to that shot, I guess. Which is what I'm going to call this. So I can't just replace that with the slug. I actually need to have them there, because you can see their hair sort of moves around when she comes in. Hang on. I mean, it's not really much the bones that are the important part. It's the eyes and the mouth and whatnot. Still. Okay, so one thing I do need to do is just separate Ruby from Vinyl slightly. Vinyl's leaning to the left, isn't she? I think she is. No, I can make Vinyl lean more to the right, to the left, right, left. Here, there we go. Cool. So what I can do here. Here, this part, I can make her just like that. And then I can remove this bookmark and put a bookmark here. But now that there's like that, I need to bring her neck over so she's actually Eh, eh. Eh. So I do like the sort of head under the neck type layout. I wonder if I can do a cheeky by grabbing both of their pelvises, putting a bookmark here, and then moving them both across. So that goes here, and then that goes here. Just like that. Let's see what happens. I feel like also, because like the delicate balance that I need to follow is that I need to not only have her like crook her nose underneath Vinyl's neck, but also have her actor be visible so that you can see what she's doing. I think I will cut it here because it makes it easy. The hair makes it difficult. I can move the hair a bit more though. Nah, I think I like what I did before, so allow me to just select both of these things again and undo what I've done. There we go. The only thing I should do here is move her neck a little bit further inwards. Cool. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Vinyl's hair here. And where's Vinyl's hair? Oh, that's right. I turned off my turned off the right click. Here it is. Show scene hierarchy. Excellent. Everything is as it should be. Alright, I also need to show hidden controls so I can have a look at her jiggle main. There we go. I need to know when she stops moving, which is here, so I can get that jiggle main flex about here. That's fine. Okay, and then like that, but I also want to just bring it in slightly so that Vinyl's eyes aren't being covered. They aren't being covered 19. Ha ha! I feel like also I should make Ruby come forward a bit and a bit further over this way. Maybe. Unless of course I make her over here and then like that. And I can also grab Vinyl here and move her entirely like over this way a bit. My brain's not in the animating viewpoint at the moment, which is not good, but because I do miss the contact here. So I will make sure they're still making contact here. So I'm gonna. It's terrible. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. That's better. Okay, but I do need to make sure that the hair isn't inside fucking Ruby's mouth here, so I need to move her hair out. B. It's weird. It's a back. The back hair. Your hair is all droopy. Alright, I'm just gonna get rid of this and then move this across. Yes. Dum diddy dum. As you say. Well, g'day, mate. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna cut it off. About here is where it should be. Blade, nice. I'm gonna make this one yellow. However I colored it. Not that bright, it's a little bit darker. Very nice. I've just become aware that I have not had my coffee. I don't have a coffee in my hands. In my hands. Who are you? My name is Quillo. I am an animate. It's the same one, yeah. And there's Barry still here, so that's not correct. Alright, so let me just let's put it there, why not? So copy. Pasty. Pasty. Good. Need to make sure, because like these little thingies here are just little clips that you can't see it from this angle, I guess, or from this distance. But what it says, it just says TV effect cut, and it's just to remind me that this is not gonna this part of the animation is not actually gonna be in the animation. It's going to be just for the TV cutting thingy. Alright, so this camera here this camera here is going to be facing, I'm just gonna playhead this, just gonna get to this, and let me just get rid of all of these. Cool. So this camera here is going to be facing in this direction. But I'm definitely going to have to make it work a bit more. Even if I have to like physically move them closer to the road, I will have to. And I'm okay with tiny bits of continuity errors to be like, oh, she's not actually that close to the road, blah, blah, blah. In fact, I might actually just do that straight up because, like, the fact that they're in shadow is kind of hurting a lot. So what I might do is I might grab this sunlight here and just bring it over. Quite a bit. And then I'm gonna grab the sunlight here and just there a tiny bit more. Is that where I want it to be? Yeah, about there is fine. Just so that the sun is coming in a little bit closer. What the hell happened here? The fuck? Oh, it's the side of that thing. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. It's this part here. That's what that is. Interesting. No, it's not. You can't pause. Oh no. Yeah, that's all the levels of the shades. Yeah, you can see that that's where the light's coming in here. Interesting stuff. I am very much not in the animation mindset today. Very much not in the animation mindset today. I don't know what it's up. I don't know what's going on. What's going on, mate? But I'm super not ready for 3D looking around stuff, and that's okay. It's okay to not be in the mindset for doing a specific creative work, but it's part of learning discipline, where you have to understand that you kind of have to you work on something. You know, you can do something. And I'm not in the motion mindset right now. So what I could do is I could possibly build this part of the scene over here. I could probably build the scene build over there. I mean, I'm gonna be grinding against stone trying to get this done, but it's gonna be preferable to not doing anything. So let's have a look. Let's give it a look-see. It's the name of the stream. Keep on continuing on. That's the important part. Building. Let's have a look at some buildings that I can put out here. So I didn't actually have a plan for what's going to be on the other side of the street here. I could just... I mean, I could, so I used the red buildings on this side of the street, so I could use the blue buildings on the other side. I mean, there's nothing stopping me, so let's have a look. The only issue is that these, of course, are skybox buildings, so they're not exactly all that highly detailed. And they are quite small. Look at this small building. So we're going to see what happens when I increase the size just a bit, just a little bit. The only thing is that I'm not sure what type of building would actually be in between the opera house and outside. I feel like the opera house would have an alleyway going all the way around it, so I'll have to see. We will have to see. Where's all my buildings gone? Oh, it's because I'm in the TF place. There we go. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. All right. You guys can't see what I'm looking at. Oh heck, hang on. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Save. Alright. Always make sure you save before looking through large sets of models. I can't really... I mean, I could just put the Overwatch bloody Hanamura, you know, the Hanamura, the Hanamura arcade. I could put the Hanamura arcade in here, but I feel like it wouldn't fit with the rest of the, I feel like it wouldn't fit with the rest of the setting. Fuck it. Let's see. All right. So this is the Hanamura arcade. There it is in the background, and it's to size, which is always good news. Oh shit. I need to make the okay, that's annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just so that it's closer to its root transform. The actual mesh of the model is offset from the root transform, so I have to physically relocate it to make it not offset. So what I can do is I can probably put this building right over here. Oh, not too close to the road though. I do have to make sure that it's also turned correctly. So this root transform here, I'm going to grab the blue up here to make sure it's at 90 degrees, because people building buildings wouldn't build them incorrectly. So I'm just going to chuck that right here. And let me guess, it's not actually seen at all. Rip. Alright, that's fine. So what I can actually do is, okay, so I'm going to go back to my original plan by using the blue TF skybox building. Stretch the stomach! Alright, this guy here. Oh, I could use this guy. No, I'll use this guy here. Because, like, I had to make sure I put a door on this guy over here just so it looks reasonable. But I don't actually need to do that for this building since, you know, you don't have doors all the way across it. So what I'm going to do is just grab this scale, increase it, and then what I can do is, instead of building it up all entirely, I can just, hang on, I need to make sure that's, of course, transformed correctly. So that's this one up here. Zero. Good, good. I can move this, and this can outline the alleyway that I want to put right next to the opera house. Because the thing about the opera house is, I imagine, because of fire codes and whatnot, you need to make sure that there's a lot of space for exodus in case people need to escape from the opera house. And the front of the opera house is on this side, but everyone's going to be sitting in the middle of the building. So there's going to be these are actually fire exits on the left side. And then of course we need to make sure that the stagehands that are above can also just exit the building this way. So that's what the alleyway behind the opera house is actually there for. Whenever you're designing a city layout, it's always important to imagine. It's always important to include things like that. To include the scene build, the things like city codes in this sort of thing, because it makes sense. It just makes sense. So you need to make sure that things are still within reality. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab another building that has the same sort of texture as that. Oh, brilliant. These are the King's Row buildings, I believe. Because I can grab... I like this building. Yeah. I'm pretty sure these are the Hanamura buildings. But anyway, no, not the Hanamura, the King's Row, that's the word. So what I could do, I could actually just put this guy. Donk. Whoops. not both of them. Donk. All right. I need to. So. Oh shit. Dingus. There we go. This one here. There we go. 90. There we go. Cool. 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 So, I need to put this building. Of course, I need to make sure there's enough space so the perspective is right. You can always do nasty tricks with perspective. Nasty as in legit. Oops. And let's just copy and paste that because I'm lazy. There we are. Cool. What? Me lazy? Nah. Nah, that can't possibly be right. Okay. And of course the other thing that's important to keep in mind is that we need to make sure that the lighting is all right. I'm going to be moving the lights over here to over here because we don't need those lights lighting up this part of the building because we don't see it. We might actually disable those models over there in these scenes, but I mean, they're just models. They don't take a lot of processing power to do. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to grab Ruby's base movements again, and I'm going to have her slide around again. So I'm going to have her over here. Let's just get rid of the original Ruby, all of the original Ruby. Okay, so I'm going to get her over here. I'm going to block out this motion here. Okay, so that tells me that the camera needs to be more like, I guess, like here a little bit. Like here. Because I need to make sure that Vinyl is here and her eyes are visible, and then when Ruby's looking back, you can see Ruby's face, because I'm going to be making her look like this. Okay, but of course I don't want to put those models there. Let's just get rid of all of these. There we go. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and... yeah, I think I will just move them closer to the road here. So what I will do, I'm going to go ahead and... what I could do is grab the camera and Vinyl, but only this part here. Oh no, I do need that. Okay, so here I'm going to grab Vinyl and the camera, and I'm just going to move her out to the road here, just so that she's in shadow. She actually has a shadow, you know. And I'm going to have to do the same. And of course I need to move the camera so that Berry is visible here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab transform and just... but see, the thing is I need to make sure that everything still fits within the rule of thirds. So I could probably put her around here. I'm trying to line them up with the center of the spaces here. Good morning, Optimin 4 Mass. Good morning, Mama Punk. Good morning, Julian. Good morning, Krivenko. I keep having to try and remember how to read your name. Yeah, I need to recontextualize things. Unless of course, I do this cheeky maneuver, right, where I just grab... I forgot. That's a bit weird. Shit. Oh no! Undo, undo, undo all of everything. Ah! Did it? Okay. Okay. So vinyl here. So vinyl here. I want her to come over to the light here. And now I've got rid of vinyl. Oh, the second part. Oh, Krivenko is the last name, hey, or the surname, family name. So Vitali, is it is because the that is, does the I make the same sound as the N, the backwards N? Vitali. Yeah. So it's Vitali Krivenko. That's the Western ordering of your name. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. Yeah. I keep forgetting that, like, because I already know that the Russian name, or the Cyrillic names have the same ordering as the East Asian names. Ooh, I'm actually gonna have vinyl here, and then bury punches off frame almost. I'm just gonna. Oh no, I need to. I don't know why. The only thing is that I'm not sure why vinyl notices Ruby there. So I'm gonna have Ruby entirely out of scene. Oh, maybe. Because Ruby still does something, hey? Yeah. Yeah. And then the camera can just go back to what it was doing normally. Yeah. How long will it take me to animate this? I project that I might be able to release it sometime within the next 2 years. This is not going to be a short project. It should be fine. Yep, 2 years. An entire 2 years, because I'm a single animator. I'm doing this entirely on my own, and it's an entire 3-minute clip of song. It's a full part of a song. No, it's a full 3 minutes, and this is what I've done, and this is what I have to go. And there's a lot of supplementary things that I need to do in the meantime for all of this. So this is where it's beginning, this is where it's going to end. Very, very time-consuming process. But to keep myself sane, I don't look at all of this. I just look at this. This is what I'm looking at, and this is what I need to do. So that's fine. It's always like hyper-focus to what you're doing right now, and then eventually, once you keep solving all of the problems, you'll eventually go to the point where you can have a finished project. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the camera and all of the girls here, and I'm just going to move them. I'm just going to grab the camera last. There it is. So I'm going to move them out this way. Yeah. Could you use it? Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, and now I'm going to do the same thing with this part here. Camera 1, ba 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 ba. Move them all out to make sure that they're in the same relative position. A little bit further. And I can actually keep them moving light here because it's not really all that much. Hey, it's fine, no worries. You do, like, it's, whoopsie daisies. It's not, it's like, you don't have a deadline for it, so you don't have to apologize or anything, and it's entirely up to you. You know, because, like, one of the things that my teachers used to always say is like, you know, you're not letting me down, you're letting yourself down, sort of thing. But, like, I didn't want to do the work because the work was dumb. And I'm not your teacher. You're not in public school, and you're not learning this as like a thing you need to do, right? It's not a work assignment. It's not going to affect your grade. For context, I did a shoot, I guess, with him, and I taught him a bit about SFM, and I just told him to finish a waving motion that we started in the shoot. And yeah, I'm just saying that I called it homework, but it's not really homework. It's just something that you need to do. So it's something that you should do, but it's not important. It's not imperative. It's something that you can tinker around with, and yeah, you can, you know, do what you like with it. So you don't need to apologize for it. Yeah. Okay. This concerns me. Oh, that's just the base motion, right? I forgot. Cool. Oh, I need to make sure that I remember to. Well, camera distance, the focal distance isn't as important here. Okay, so I need to shorten this. Good. Just aperture look. Okay, that's fine. Ooh. Okay, so I feel like that's a bit too quick, so I'm just gonna. Yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah, so I'm just gonna. I feel like this part here. Okay, so I guess that this fits in because you get the sentence that she's saying here resolves here, so it doesn't feel like it cuts away too quick. And with here, there's nothing resolving, so it can cut away earlier, I guess. Sort of. And yes, camera motion can be achieved in the exact same way that you do character motion. It uses the exact same set of things, and you can move that camera exactly the same way you would move a character. But the only thing, like I was saying before, is you can use the graph editor to map specific bookmarks for where your camera is positioned, and you can move that camera using the right click and hold, or the left click and hold thing, when you have the graph editor selected and the camera that you want to move selected, and then the camera will move like an actor would in a scene. So that's something you can play around with as well. It's a lot of you need to do. In order to get to where I am, you need to be able to do a lot of exploration and just like working things out. Not necessarily entirely on your own, but to be able to play around with the program is incredibly important to the learning process. And that applies to pretty much anything that you want to do. You want to learn how to program, you've got to be able to learn how to go off on your own and be able to experiment with the code so you can make stuff. And I've been talking about code this whole time, and I kind of want to do some coding instead of animation today. But I did something that's important. I mean, I set up the rest of this scene build in the background here, which was the summation of adding 3 models, and I moved vinyl across. It's I guess important that I did that. Ooh, lines, yeah, white lines, cool, good stuff. But that's gonna be it for SFM today, because I feel like I want to do some coding. So I'm making a game, making a couple games actually. You can technically have more than one camera in the animation, but only one camera can be active and rendering at a time. So it's better just to have the one camera. You can have as many cameras as you like, but they don't really do anything. Or at least, I don't know if they do anything. I'm pretty sure there might be a thing where you could have like a virtual monitor that sees the view from a different camera, but I think that requires a lot of strange stuff. So yeah, that is the thing about cameras and whatnot. You can have multiple cameras, but only one can be active and rendering at any one time. So you have one main camera, and you can have a bunch of different testing cameras if you want. One other thing I did as well is that if you, what's that one? I think that's yaw, or roll, because that's yaw. No, that's pitch. And then that's yaw, and that's roll. Yeah. Okay. So if you roll your camera, yeah. So if you roll your camera, and when you open your work camera for the first time, your work camera will actually inherit that roll, which would change the way that your mouse moves, or the way that your mouse moves the camera, or at least it makes it strange. So having a second camera which has no roll on it it would be important for allowing you to reset your work camera back to a reasonable rotation. Because I don't think there's actually a control that you can do to roll your camera. Still, I'm gonna flick over to Unity. So I'm just gonna close this. Okay. Gonna close this. Gonna open up Unity Hub. SFM hasn't crashed. It's lying. Just appreciate this dead screen for a few seconds. I can do that. No, that's my second screen. That's not what I want. Display 1. There we go. Okay. Cool. So I'm just gonna welcome to my screen. And the game that I'm actually trying to make right now is called Bit Crusher Idle, and it's an idle game, and you crush bits, and that's pretty much it. And because right now I'm trying to figure out the adding a raycast to whenever you click or whenever you activate the button. I'm trying to get used to using the Unity input scripter, I guess, but I think I need to import it still, because I don't think I've done any progress in it. I haven't done any thing. Yes, no, that's a desktop from Cadet Redshirt, and it's good stuff. Okay, so this is my Unity project right now, and this is my scene using baked area lights to make like a glowy sort of neon effect, but isn't actually in the entire project. I just made that, and I was like, this is pretty cool. And currently this is what the game looks like if I just play that real quick. There we go. A little bit drops from the sky. You can't do anything with it. The only thing you can do is... Damn it. Alright, hang on. Scripted reference on this behavior camera base is missing. Alright, I need to... where is it? Oh, inspector, here it is. I moved the scripts and it forgot where it was. Alright, so... I need a camera controller. So add component. Oh, actually, I'll just do this. Camera controller. Cool. Done. Alright, try that again. Wee, see that? The camera turns around. I created this camera rotating system. I made that. Entirely on my own. And I'm actually quite proud of this bloody camera rotating thing, because it took quite a bit. But anyway, so this is a bit, or actually technically this is a byte, quote unquote. It's 8-bit. And the idea is you click on the thing, you click on the bit, and then a bit piece will break off, and then it will fly over to this bit storage. And that's your currency. And then when you buy something, which is going to be things that will, break bits for you, it will, use that, the things in the bit storage. So that's what that is at the moment. But right now there's no actual implementation of it. So currently that's what it is at the moment. And one of the things that will happen, it will be a free game on itch.io. That's where I'm going to put it. It's going to be free, this first one. And I might do like a second one that's probably going to be like $1 or something. But definitely the demo of this, because this is just a stepping stone for my bigger game project that I'm going to be making in hopefully in the next couple of years. I'm very slow on my working progress. But anyway, so this bit spawner controls the size of the bit, so I can make it a size 4, which it wouldn't actually double the size. It actually quadruples it. It does more than that. So the original size was 2, and this one actually multiplied it by 8. That's what it did. There's now 8 loads of the 2. And like the thing that I want to do is be able to have you click on individual ones and then pop it out, and then this one slowly deconstructs as all of the pieces like meld into the bit storage. And that's what I'm eventually going to do. The only issue at the moment is that this big bit, the collider, doesn't update. That's going to be a massive thing. It's actually quite intense having a collider that updates, because I need to be able to know which bits are still here that require a box collider on it, and am I going to make it so that, like, for instance, the entire cube system itself has a single box collider, or maybe I should just use the colliders on the maybe I should just use the colliders on the bits at the moment. Will that? No. If I just play that real quick, right, and have a bit fall down into the world, if I then make these guys box colliders are not happening at the moment. If I just make them have box, and then okay, that does work. Okay, so the biggest size at the moment is, I think, like, because I've tested up to 20 and that lags the game out. Technically, there's a theoretical infinite biggest size, but yeah, so it's possible to make a cube this big, but it lags the shit out of the game. Like this is the camera turning now. Like, it's just broken. It's incredibly broken because of the amount of stuff there. I might actually do, because there's a piece of code in the bit storage that actually, if I just spawn in a bit that is size of 10, so it's 10 by 10 by 10, which is how big this is. Boop, boop. 10 by 10 by 10 is easy source. So if I just go ahead and grab every single bit in here, grab every single bit, and then go ahead and just break them all off, and then have them all fly over to the bit storage. Because one of the things I did with the bit storage is I actually made the inside not render while the outside is there. And for some reason, the bits sort of break when they go to the edge of the screen, which is not good at all. But I don't know how to fix that at this moment, and so it's fine for now, quote unquote. And it only does it in one location, so it's definitely something to do with how the mesh is offset. Because something that I've noticed is that if I look at the actual model of the bit mesh, it's like it's centered around this corner as opposed to the center of the mesh, and I don't know how to fix that. It's dumb. But yeah, that's just what it is at the moment. Anyway, so I think I might integrate this same. In fact, I can probably just do that right now, to be honest. But how? But how? Yes, I can do that again. It's very satisfying to watch all the bits fly around. Because like one of the things that I really like as well is that if I select multiple bits like this, and just activate the flying bit script that I also wrote, pretty much everything in this project is something that I created. And watch. It falls off and then I created the everything you see. I'm trying to because technically I didn't create the panels here because they're the primitive plane. Like these are just primitive planes that is basic in Unity. And so is this, the neon, quote unquote, is also just a primitive plane with the material that I made from the base material. And then this bit storage is just a line of primitives, like, you know, that's a section of it. And this bit is just a cube with beveled edges. But every single, all of the motion, except for the physics, of course, all of the motion that I did is entirely determined by code. So when I break this, if I just pause this real quick, if I break this, right, all of this motion you see that flies towards the bit storage, flies around, and then all of that is just code. There's no animation in this at all, which is funny because I like animating stuff, but there's actually no animation in this whatsoever. It's all predetermined by not necessarily predetermined, but it's all calculated by code. So it's animating is my passion. All right. Pew. It's always fun to see. But yeah, I'm also gonna have a thing as well where there's gonna be quote unquote critical clicks that you can do that will break a bit in half. So if you were to click there on the bit, or anywhere on the bit, and you do a critical click, then the bit itself will just break into two. Which it's sort of like, it would look cool, but it wouldn't actually do much for you because that critical click doesn't actually give you any money. But it does break it down to a bit smaller. So yeah, there is gonna be like a whole bunch of upgrades and things because I want to make it a fully fledged idle game. But like, and so, but like the thing that the motif that I want to stick with the games that I develop on my own is that I don't want to have any UI. I don't want any UI whatsoever. No words or text on the screen that you can see. It's just going to be symbols, and it's just going to be like, hopefully it's going to be intuitive enough that you won't have to worry about using UI. Because I'm going to have a thing where if you click on the bit storage itself, it will pop up with a menu of things that you can buy, and like hopefully that menu isn't going to have any elements of things that, because like if you imagine if I just go ahead and prefab real quick, I'm just going to put a bit in here, because if you can imagine, if there's a bit that's attached to the camera, right? You know, and I click on the bit storage, and then this thing goes like that. That sort of motion, it's sort of like, it can be like a UI, but it's actually not. And so, you know, you can have the thing go, and I can make that motion. I know how to make that motion. Because I made this one script called Circle Path, which I've used in fucking everything. Let's see, where is it? Scripts, utilities, Circle Path. Here it is. So let's go ahead and open up Visual Studio. Crazy stuff. Okay, so this is my Circle Path script. It's okay. So it looks massive, but it isn't actually. There's actually like 4 lines that you actually need to use. But it's a very simple thing that maps a circular path. Let me just grab my authentic code analysis tool here. What it does is that it determines a start point. It determines an end point, right? And all it does is it just maps a circular path from that start point with a predetermined height to an end point, right? Just like that. And the height is specifically mapped as, let me just grab this down here. The height is specifically, I believe, I don't actually know. The height specifically is the distance from the base here up to a value defined by a variable. I'm just going to call it h. So yeah, you can see that, yeah, so the circle path is designed here. There's a value h that you can control the height with, and that's pretty much it. If you have a h value of 0, so let me just grab this real quick. If you have an h value of 0, if I just put this over, obviously down here, then what's going to happen is that you're going to get a motion that looks like this, right? Just watch along real quick. You're going to have a motion that looks like this, where it starts off slow, and then it speeds up, and then slows down again. It's kind of like a spline motion or a flat motion when that happens. Because if you remove the vertical element, all you've got is the horizontal position, and you can imagine if you just flattened this. Let me just see if this works. If I just flatten this, you can see that the dots over here, whoops. Okay, I need to. So you can see if I flatten this, the dots over here are relatively a lot closer than the dots in the middle here, and that's where the speed up and slow down comes from. And I've used that several times in this project. Primarily is let me just get rid of this. Primarily is the motion that the bits, the little boxes, experience when they enter in range of the bit storage. That is circle path. That's what circle path is, and I'm like, oh, fucking brilliant. I love it so much. Anyway, so what I need to do right now is integrate the actual clicking element in it, and I think what I can do is I can import new asset. No, so I'm gonna import package, custom package. No, not custom package. Select dependencies. All right. Window, asset management, asset package manager. That's the word. There are no packages. All packages. There we go. So what I want, real quick. What's this 2D path? Oh, gross. All right. What I want is the input system, I think. So more extensible customized alternatives to classic unit input system in engine.input. Well, see, this input system I think is, well, let's have a look at the documentation real quick. Yeah. Let's have a look at the documentation. Okay, so all right, I can see that. Okay. So the input system package implements a system to use any kind of input device to control your Unity content. It's intended to be more powerful, flexible, and configurable replacement for the Unity's classic input manager, the Unity.input class. To get started, see the installation and quick start select guys. Well, yeah, I know how to do that, but input action, add a player input component. Okay. Oh, that's something that I don't know. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this into my project. Install. Project using new input system package backends. If you want to enable backends, you need to restart and disable. Okay, that's fine. So that means I believe my right click to move the camera isn't going to work. So let me just do that, and I'm just going to restart the thingy. Hello, Britannia. SS05TM Britannia PS 1543. Welcome aboard to my not SFM stream. So let's just test real quick. I'm pretty sure my right click to move is not working anymore. Yeah, that's not working anymore. Yeah. Okay, so I need to. There was a warning that popped up here. Yeah, this warning. Oh, that's what that means. Okay, interesting. All right. I prefer that way though. All right. Input system package in player settings. So I need to do I need to add a player input? I guess because like player input manager I think should be on here. Join players when button is pressed. What? Ooh. Okay, so I'm going to remove that. I need player input. That's the one I need. Input action asset. I got none of those. Use set of action inputs. Drag existing action inputs into the field above. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in, I guess, in scripts and inputs. It's been disposed. What? There we go. Default scheme, keyboard and mouse. Auto switch, no. Default map, player. UI, player, I reckon. Send messages, yeah. So I can open input settings. Or open input debugger. Keyboard. Whoa! Things appeared when I... Oh, cool. Okay, that's neato. That's nifty. Oh, it shows you everything. Oh my god. Everything is here. We're all here, Fonzie. David. All right, let's have a look at it. Whoa! Okay, so you can, oh, that's cool. You can see all the like the delta X, delta Y. That's cool. And then the click count. What does click count mean? Oh my god, it goes up! Ah! I'm making a whole bunch of things here. That's silly. Alright. That's cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so that's cool. So the thing is that we've got a delta X, which is the left and right, or at least the change in input. That is left and right. What is it saying? What is it saying? Hang on. The people are talking in the thingy. Livestream. Put this over here. Well, hello, Shiloh. You should change your name from Britannia to Shiloh. This is indeed a live chat. And do you do too many live streams? I wouldn't know if I do too many live streams. I mean, I do one a week, and like this is my 51st one, so I guess that's a few, but I wouldn't say that's too many. I know. I understand what you're trying to say here. I imagine that you're ESL, or American. Never mind. That was a nice little jab at the American education system, but I can't talk much. Apparently, Australia has we're 39th in education, so there you go. Can't go to school because of COVID-19. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I mean, it's not fine because school is always important, but understandable that you wouldn't be able to go to school. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff here, which is always good news. And it seems like that broadcasts the thing, and there's so many IDs, holy crap. But it's good. So I guess I've got, instead of using control.right click, I can do, because I've got a back button here. Yeah, I've got a back button, there it is. Pressing the back button on my mouse. And the thing that amuses me is I've got a click count. Where's the right button? Oh, there it is. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. Nice. Can't ever have too many Quillo streams. You're completely right. Radius. What's radius? Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, and then left, right, middle. Pointer ID. I don't know what pointer ID means. Okay, so the name here is the most important thing, because when I do mouse.delta.x, then it's going to get this value here that continuously changes on the left and right thing. So let's have a look. Well, school isn't for everyone. School isn't for everyone. I never liked school. So I think, because we need to do input system. What do I need to input center dot mal. No, input center is something else. Input center is a thing that I did before. Okay, so let me just, because I can't remember what the actual text that I need to use is. I'm pretty sure if I just close and reopen Unity here, it'll fix itself. So let me just save that and then reopen Unity. Cool, and it's gonna tell me what I actually need here. Now, there's no need to be fighting about schooling system. Hang on a second. There's no, like, it's funny kind of watching this exchange here, because neither of you want the other person to neither of you really want the other person to believe the thing that you're believing. You're just stating what you believe. So Nadia's saying that it's boring, right? School is boring, but you have to You have to think of it from the other person's perspective. That's what they think. And you might not think that. But that's okay. That's all you need to say. It might be boring for them, not boring for you. And that's okay. We can have that. We can have differing opinions in this world. And it's really important to have those sorts of things. But the only thing that you shouldn't do is be a dick about it. And right now, you're being a little bit of a dick about it. So, just a little bit, you know, just a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, you know, what the hell is that? Oh, that's on Game Master. Okay, player input. What the hell? Oh, okay, cool. All right, nice. So I'm gonna get rid of the triggers, the touchscreen. Yeah, I'm gonna allow it for touchscreen, but there's not gonna be any gamepad because you can't really do gamepad on this. Delete delta. Yeah, pointer delta. That's fine. Hat switch. What the fuck is a hat switch? Alright, movement is not gonna be a thing. It's good that it has all of these things in it. Oh. Okay, that's fine. Not gonna use that. Delete, that's fine. And I'm not going to use either of these. Delete. Delete. I pressed paste. All right. Ugh. And it's not something that you should do, Shilo. Don't tell people to get out because they have different opinions. That is not a thing that you should do. I mean, technically that's my opinion, but that opinion stops fights from happening. So you can't just exodus someone because you don't agree with what they believe in. That's not okay. You have to be acceptance that they have opposing views to you, and you can be happy with people that do have opposing views, because that's how the First Amendment happens. That's how freedom of speech is. That's the beauty of freedom of speech. Differing ideas is the beauty of freedom of speech. Save. Okay, so, oh boy. I'm gonna go ahead and, because I know that this camera needs to exist. So if I go ahead and edit this script here. Guys, stop fighting! Stop it! I'm gonna put you both into timeout if you don't stop fighting. It's not okay. You don't need to do that. Stop fighting. Heckin' damn it. I need to add a public player what's it called? Player input. Feck! Why didn't that exact shit? Alright, feckin' balls. Question. Model behavior. Call module. Oh, that's fucking. So what is this though? Edit script. Hello, player input.cs. So do I need to import Unity Engine.input system perhaps? So using Unity Engine.input system, I think is what I need. And so, yeah, it's instantly. That's what I needed. Excellent stuff. Now, there's no need to act like that. There is no need to act like that anymore. That's enough. I'm calling it here. This is. That's my crowd control. I want to be a police officer, and that's going to be my crowd control mechanism. Babido. Gonna add a PI. You know what really doesn't make any sense? Player input. There we are. Okay, so this I think I'm just gonna do a fancy schmancy. Alright, that to be get component player input. Just like that. Nice and easy. Yeah. And there's no need to there's not any it's not called for to tell someone to go away because they have a different opinion to you. But you see, okay, so one of the things that that's important to learn. I know you're 10, and you've got a lot to learn. But one of the things that is important is to know which battles you need to fight. Because doing this sort of thing takes energy, right? You know, you get angry, and that it's exhausting. Getting angry is exhausting. That's something that you might learn when you turn, I think it's like 15 or 16. No, 15, 16 is when the angry is easy. And then when you turn like 19 and 20, then you realize just how exhausting being angry is. Because that's what I learned, and I don't like being angry. I just don't like being angry because it's exhausting. You know, like I said, it takes a lot of energy to be angry. And so I just find that it's a lot easier to be if you just decide not to get angry. And you will learn that eventually. Hopefully you will learn that. And if you don't, then that's fine as well. You don't have to learn anything. And so there's nothing saying that you must do that. So I've got the player input here, and so if I grab my, well, I don't need this script at all anymore. So I can go ahead and close this tab and then just delete it out of my scripts, which is a bad idea, but I'm going to do it anyway. Inputs. I can get rid of control, and that will make everything break, which is fine. Input center I can also get rid of because, oops, I didn't need to do that. Delete that, because I've got this input system here. And in my game master, since I have the input action asset, I guess, my camera controller can just reference the game master that has that in it instead. So this script here, which is what currently has a lot of errors at the moment. No, don't say that. You can say anything but that. Don't do that. I'm gonna have to mute you. That's the last time you can say it. You can tell him to get out of here. That's not a thing. That's not a thing that you can say. Well, I mean, you can say it, but I'm not allowing it. This is my stream. Because it might be fun for you, but it's not fun for me. And I'm the one that determines what stays. This is where positions of authority come in. I've got the ability to essentially silence you for 5 minutes. And I have the deciding factor in whether you stay. So input center, no. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I've got M here. So M dot player input dot. Okay, so I've got a whole bunch of things here. Player input dot mouse. Play it. Passivate input. What the fuck? On controls changed. That is name? No, that's the name of the object. It is attached to devices. So if I do devices dot count, oh fuck, it's an array. Shit. Goddamn. Actions, so called, causes him daily pains. All right. Actions dot okay. Alrighty. My fan is really dusty. So it seems as though I might need to... Alright. So it seems as though I might need to have like a specific thing reading the mouse horizontal speed. And so I guess I do need an input controller on the Game Master, or at least the Game Master itself can be an input controller, but I feel like I should use a separate input controller. So I'm gonna have a new C# script, and I'm gonna call it input center with an RE because I'm Australian. Let's see, input center. And this here is what's going to have all of this stuff here. Game Master requires component copy type type of input center, and that's what's going to hold all of the messages that get sent by the input controller. Yeah, and notice yet I haven't muted them just yet, because you know they're at the line. They haven't crossed it yet, but yeah, it's something that they'll hopefully they'll learn that you don't need to do that. And I agree with Mama Pomp here. If we all thought the same in life would be very boring. You can disagree with someone, but you got to respect what they're saying too. And don't think of it. Look, Nadia, you were just as you were just as approaching the line as they were, I guess. You instigated that confrontation as much as they did as well. You have to realize that as well. Well, but that's the thing. That's the biggest thing, though. They think school is fun, and that's perfectly fine. School isn't objectively bad. It's just bad for some people. I didn't like it, you don't like it, but they do, and that's okay. It's as fun as they think it is. That's the thing. Anything is as fun as you think it is. And that's the problem that I have with this. You are just as instigating this. You were just as instigating that confrontation as they were. So you gotta you just gotta just mellow. Just mellow, man. Just give it. Yeah, because it is just sorry, that's public input center. Input center. There it is, input center. Damn it! Right. Components. I'll be back in a second. Input center. Did it. All right. But that's the thing. It can be. School can be fun. There's always that potential to be fun. We don't know where they live. They probably live in an area that has really good schooling systems, and it's just the area that you live in that doesn't have a very good schooling system. That's the thing. You can't use your own viewpoint as the global viewpoint for everyone. School can be fun. In fact, the longer I stayed at school, the more fun it became. I didn't have a very good schooling life when I was in primary school, but my senior schooling life was actually a lot more fun because I went to a good school. And my university life was actually 5,000 times better than all of my schooling life combined. Because I had a good time. It was just a good time. But you can't just, because like the thing that I also just don't like and don't stand for is, especially when it comes to young people, I don't like it when like older people like crush younger people's viewpoints. They have just as much merit in having their viewpoints as we do. So there's no reason to tell them that school's not going to be fun in the future, because it could very well be. You don't know the future. You don't know their future. You don't know them. So if they were in your school and they were in the exact same position as you were, then yeah, if they were in your school and they're in the exact same position as you were, then maybe you might have some merit of saying, hey, you know, school isn't going to be that fun when you get into grade 7 because, you know, there's like tests every second week. Like, you can say that, and that's fine because that's personal experience. But you can't just say that the only fun thing about school is the events that go on, because maybe they just like learning. Maybe they like learning. Maybe they like hanging out with their friends. Like, that's the big part about school, is being able to hang out with all of your friends. I didn't have that many friends. I didn't want that many friends. So going to school was essentially going to prison for me. But I know that a lot of people at my school had a lot of friends and they enjoyed going to school for the purposes of hanging out with their friends. So you really can't just say that the only fun thing about school is the events that go on, because that's not always correct. Because some people do like learning, some people like their teachers, some people have lots of friends that they do enjoy hanging out with when they go to school. So there's no reason to really assert that viewpoint, because of the fact that it could be different from everyone. And the same thing from their perspective. They can't assert their viewpoint upon you saying that school is in fact fun because of all of these things that you're missing out on, because they don't know your story. It's the same thing in both directions. Everyone has their own separate life. Everyone is the main character to their own story, the protagonist of their own story. And every story has a backstory. And every backstory has a backstory. So yeah. So that's something that you need to keep in mind when it comes to that. Get component input center. So the input center has all the important things, I guess. So I'm gonna make this on input. No. Player input dot tutorials. Tutorials. How to use Unity player input. It's just a quick thought, guy. Yeah, it should be fine. Alright, move input action has been triggered. Okay, maybe. So on look, so there's that M look. So I can use, so I guess I could do public static M look, right? Public static vector 2m look, vector 2m look, and I can have the on look. Okay, so this one needs to inherit something. No, it doesn't. What are you including though? So, does this need to inherit player input? No, dingus. I need to, yeah, oops. I need to make that the player input class. So player input, and then this one becomes player input. Oh, don't save. Whoops. Delete. Player input needs to inherit. So needs to inherit mono behavior. There we go. Okay. So player input needs to inherit mono behavior, and inside player input I can have things like public. I guess I can have this as a static variable. Look. There needs to be a vector 2. Vector 2. Victor 2. No, you can't. No, that's not a correct viewpoint. You had that argument too. You were just as at fault for that argument as they were. You know what would have stopped the argument? Okay. I accept that you have that opinion, and please accept that my opinion is different to yours, and then not talked about it. But no, you didn't do that. You specifically kept trying to push your point upon them, and that's what continued the argument. There was no reason for that argument to turn out as it did. So you are just as much at fault for that argument as they are. Again, because at the same time, considering it from their perspective, they could as well have just said, I agree that your point is different from mine, and that's the end of it. But no, you both were just as much as fault for that argument. There's no... they started it does not work. It never works. It never has any merit whatsoever. Because they may have started it, but you continued it. That's the important part. It's the continuation that's the most important part. You can't just continue an argument and then blame them for it. You are in control of your own action. They didn't mind control you and then force you to continue the argument. You decided to do that. And so that's on you. And that's an important thing for you to realize. So I guess I need to do public on look. No! Alright, or is it update? I don't know. Alright, feckin' balls. Alright, let's see. Player input. Because, okay, so does the on move thing exist? No. Okay, so these are existing things in mono behavior, but I guess I need to have a public void on look command with a input value of value. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to print value. String, why not? Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens there. But you weren't making a point. You were making an argument. You made your point at the beginning. You said at the beginning that you didn't like school and school is boring. That was your point. But the follow on from that is the continuation of the argument. And that's not inherent to good discussion, I guess. And that's not what you should be aiming for when it comes to interaction with people. So I know that there are some people out there that I guess like argument, which is fucking dumb. Oh damn. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. No? Huh? So where's my script? Can I do that? Script class cannot be found. What? What do you mean it can't be found? It's right there. Is it on the object already? What the hell? Make sure file name and class name match. Player input. Player input. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna tell you what I'm gonna do my big trick. I'm gonna and then restart it. Well, that's the thing. That no, you can't just say that. That's not an accepted. No, it wouldn't be handy dandy. Because yeah, you could have handled that better, and it's a shame that you didn't. What is this? Huh? What the fuck? What's going on here? All right. Game master. Associated. Oh, it was compile errors. That's fine. What the hell is going on? Input system. Controls, devices, editor, assets, resources. No, here it is. Input diagnostics. On screen? It's weird. I don't like it. What the hell? Okay. Alright, so this is a helper to get set up with the new input system quickly. It takes care of input action bookkeeping and has a custom UI to help setting up input. The component supports local multiplayer implicitly. Each player input instance represents a distinct user with its own set of devices and actions. To orchestrate player management and facilitate mechanics such as joining device activity, use Player Input Manager. The way player input notifies script code of events is determined by notification behavior. By default, this is set to send messages, which will use to send messages to that player input sits on. To the script. Oh, I'm a dingus. Okay. So, I'm an absolute dingus. I am a jolly cock up, that's for sure. So it sends messages to the scripts that are next to it, which is any of the scripts next to it. So I need to make a separate script that's something like control handler, because I want to keep this separate from the game master, which will handle things like the bit size and upgrades and things like that. So I'm going to put that there. Fine. Oh, it needs to compile, right, because I need to get rid of the errors here. That's what's happening. I need to go into inputs and control handle. Game master on the left here. Type of. Well, I can just make this an input center again. Input center, and then I need to make sure that this one is in fact. Okay. So the input center here is where all the things are going to be, and I know I've done this fucking several times. Static. No, I don't need this to be static, actually. Public vector to mlook. Okay. And then it's here where I have to do a public void, I guess, on look. Oh, right, of course. On look input value, and then I'm just going to do a thing where it's just print value dot to string. Okay. All right, and so I need to fix up all of these errors here, which I'm going to just get rid of these for now. Okay. Yep. I need to I'm just going to disable this. Okay. Yes, camera control, that's fine. All right, so now it's built correctly. I can add component input center. Move it up. So it's here, and then I'm just gonna play real quick. So I should be getting, ooh, yes. Okay, cool. So I've got a whole bunch of values here that are what? Input value. What is it? What is it? So it's good that the value is actually doing a thing, but I need to. I wonder if I just print value there. Will it implicitly convert it into a string, or is it like you can't do that? So let's just okay. Let's see, what is it? Okay, so it's just the same thing. That's fair enough. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have an mlook here. Value dot. What is get? What is get? What is get? Is pressed? No. So I'm going to print this. Never underestimate the power of print statements. Very important. So let me just. All right. Though when it doesn't tell you anything. Okay, so how do I unpack the look then? List of events invoked in response to actions being triggered. Action event actions. Okay. Active all camera control scheme. Full control scheme. That was the last. No. Input. Input value. What's an input value? Gee, that fucking tells me a lot. Get, I guess. Let's have a look. Quillo struggles with the Ah! Yes! Okay. Ah, brilliant. Okay. So, if I look at the input settings, no. Input debugger. Because it feels like it's already getting the delta values, which is what I want. So if I go to Game Master, is it? No, it's the that. So if I go look, yeah, it's already grabbing the delta. Yeah. Mouse delta. Yeah, it's already grabbing the delta. So that's what the value is. So therefore, cancel. Oh no, I'm just gonna don't say. So therefore, if I go to here, I can then say dot x. Well, what value does this return? It gives an object of input value. Can I do value.x? No. So how do I extract the actual values out of the object? Can I do print, I guess, value, and then can I index it? Does it allow indexing? No, it does not. Okay, so do I have to dot get and then index it? No. So how do I get the delta values out of the onLook value? Unless I can do this spooky fancy thing where I do vector 2. Seems to like that. Let's see what happens. Will it break reality? Oop, there goes gravity. Oop, there goes gravity. It didn't break reality. So can I then do vector2.x? I have the power. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm after. Yes! Brilliant. Okay, cool. So, now what I can do is I can essentially just say that m_look equals value.get as a form of a vector2. Cool. Excellent. It's all, oh yeah, it's all come together. That's all good. That's all good. So we've got the onLook input value of value, and we're getting it as a vector2, and we're saving it to mlook. So therefore, when I play this now, this value over here is gonna change based off of the look. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, that's good. Yay! Okay, cool. So now I can go to camera controller and re-enable this. Right, and I've got master here, the game master, so I'm going to make that input center. So I'm going to go, yeah, so I'm going to go, I don't need this to be static. It does not static. Okay, good. So I can go m.inputCenter.mlook, whoopsie daisies, .mlook.x. There it is. So instead of that, it's that. Cool. And yes, so that's fine. And now this input center, I need a value for camera. I need a value for camera. Let's see. So I've got on move, on look. Okay, so so it shows you all of this messages here. So I can make my own. How do I make? Oh, I need to open up this here. So I need to make an action, and I'm gonna call it rotate. I'm gonna call it rotate, and the binding is going to be on the mouse. It's going to be right button. Right button using control scheme, keyboard, and mouse. So that's what rotate is. And then if I save that, I should have an on rotate right here. There it is, on rotate. And so now what I can do is I can go public void on rotate. Right, and then but I need to look at camera controls here. No, not camera controls. Oh, well, yeah, kind of camera controls. Here, this here. I need to just set that as rotate. So does it have? Okay, so I need to print bink, otherwise known as fish. Bink or fish. Camera controls. Oh right. Oh no, I need to not have that enabled right now. So let me just disable this again. Ba-ba-da-boom. Bee-ba-da-boop-bee. Okay. Bink. Fish. There's only one fish. Only one fish happens. Okay. So how do I make it so that it tracks when it's clicked and also when it's not clicked? So if I look at this, interactions, press, hold. Okay. So I guess that means that rotate fires when it's being held. Because I want both press and hold. Oh, press and release. There we go. That's the one. So I can hold that. So press and release. That's when it triggers. Both when I press it and also when I release it. So this one here doesn't have any interactions, so that's fine. So press and release. So if I go into the input center again, I can add an input value of v here, and then I can print v dot is pressed, and that should straight away determine whether or not the value is actually pressed. So let's have a look. If I right click, true, false, true, false, true, false. Fucking brilliant, mate. I'm discovering the world. So I can see you there, mate. But I'm not going to validate your I'm not sure what to call it. It's like it's a manipulation tactic, what you're trying to do here. You're trying to get me to do something, which is a manipulation thing, and I'm not going to validate it. I don't know what it's actually specifically called, because I'm not a psychology, but I'm not going to fall for it. So it's just a matter of allowing you to realize, to have a, I'm not going to mute you, because it's important to have this record of how you act or how you used to act, so that you can look back at it and say that this is not how it should be in the future. This is not how someone should be acting, I reckon. This is especially not someone who's 18 years old should be acting. Because like there's no reason for that. There's no reason for it, you know? You got into an argument with someone that you shouldn't have, and then we called you out for that, and now you're trying to do something silly. And it's all very silly. And I'm not going to validate it. I'm not going to recognize the well, I kind of did recognize it, but I'm not going to allow myself to really m_rotate. Yeah, I'm not going to allow myself to really give you what you want, essentially. So m_rotate equals v.isPressed. Yeah, there we go. And now I've got a rotate, and then what I can do is in the camera controller, I can barbido. Okay, cool. And then camera controls. Instead of putting it in camera controls, I'm gonna get rid of that, and I'm actually gonna put this to be if m.input_center.rotate m.rotate. There we go. I don't know what the M means. I really don't know what the M means. Well, that's okay. Like, I don't like treating anyone different, regardless of who they are, what they have, what condition they have, or anything like that. I treat everyone the same. The only time I treat anyone different is when, like, I guess they can't understand me. You know, if they're not an English speaker, I'm going to treat them a bit different, but not in the line of, oh, you're lesser than me, but more along the lines of, I can't talk to you, so I'm going to try and do different things. Like, I'm gonna like, I wouldn't, like, for example, you know, if I was in a foreign country and I wanted to, like, the Lithuanian waitress, I want another soda, so, you know, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that to someone who speaks English. Like, can I have another soda? Like, that wouldn't work. It probably wouldn't work to a Lithuanian person who doesn't speak English. I don't know why I specifically said Lithuanian, but it's one of the European languages that I know, or that I know of. So, like, yeah, I wouldn't do, oh, hey, can I get another soda, to someone who doesn't speak English. I'd be like, you know. So that's the only way that I'd really treat anyone different. So it's, I also don't, I might be disappointed in you, but I'm not angry. So there's no like attack coming from me, because like that's not the way I just treat people in general. So I'll always treat everyone exactly the same, no matter your walk of life, no matter what conditions you have, no matter anything like that. I'd always treat you the same, because that's fairness. It's fair, you know. I'm not going to treat you any different because you say that you're autistic. I'll say that you're autistic. Yeah, I'm not going to treat you any different because you're autistic. I'm going to treat you the exact same way that I would anyone else, because that's how people learn, right? You know, that's one thing that I'm always really, really frustrated when it comes to parents and adults treating children like children. How is the children ever going to learn how to be an adult if you never treat them like an adult? If you never talk to them like an adult, and you never like consider them as another human being, how are they ever going to learn to be an adult? You know, you teach your kid English by speaking English to them. So you teach your kid to be an adult by treating them like an adult. Well, you don't have to like, oh, now you've got to pay taxes type situation. No, it's just more along the lines of, you know, it's it's just fairness. It's just a matter of fairness. So yeah. And that is okay. Let's see. Someone sent me a message. Anyway, I'm a bit too, I guess, I don't know what to call it. But I can be a bit unreasonably tutorish. I'm gonna call it. Okay, cool. Alright, sweet. So now my camera should be working again. That's a little bit too quick, but that's okay because I can do, where is it? Camera controls. Oh no, it's in camera controller, and rotate speed is at 100. So I'm just gonna put this down to 1 and see what happens. Oh mate, we're gonna see what happens, mate. All right. Ooh. All right. So that obviously needs to be a bit higher. 10. Okay. Let's try it again. I don't know why that wasn't. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I specifically made it so that it'd like overshoot what you were looking at, and when it's slower like this, it doesn't exactly work the way I want it to. But that's fine. So what I'm gonna do, right quick. Oh. Okay, well I can do that. That's fine. Because it was dividing the speed by 10, and I've already divided it by 10, so that's better. Okay, cool. It's back to normal. Sweet. Yeah. Okay, so it seems to only do it when you're going to the right. Cool, I don't care. All right. Okay, so that's good. That's good. It does the thing that I want it to. And now what I'm going to do, so I got on look, on rotate, and now what I'm going to do is public void on fire. And I guess I'm going to need an input value of v, because I also need a an x and y coordinate of the mouse, and that's going to be a secret tool that's going to help me later. So I've got this thing here. I've got my left mouse button, and no, it's just press processes. No. Okay. Okay. So I've got on fire, and I'm just gonna print v. Well, no, that's not helped me before, so I'm gonna print v dot get. Can I do vector 2? Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Yeah, see? Is that a thing? Yeah. I don't know how to create a pony character. I don't know how to do that. Especially not if you're asking for how to do a 3D pony character, because I am not a modeler boy. Okay. Value type of float? What? Okay, okay, so obviously I need to do the same thing that I did with look as I did, because that's a delta pointer. And I guess I need to do add binding path mouse optional controls. No. Virtual mouse. No. Forward. Ooh. Listen. Okay, that's fine. No, so it's not a binding. I guess then what I'm looking for is a processor. No. Interaction? No. Because... oh, we can do Oculus. That's fine. Because there's a specific property that has the... because I want to know where that's from. Oh, it's from a pointer. Okay. So, so I guess I'm looking for pointer mouse. No. Optional controls? No. Okay, so that's not what I'm looking for. Alright, alright. Oh, wait, no. There's something different. Okay, so, because I think what I can do is grab, like, I think there's like a mouse dot... what? Current dot position. Position. There we go. All right. So I can get mouse.current.position. So I can print mouse.current.position to see if it will just return where the mouse is when I click. That's all I'm looking for at the moment. So let's have a look. Ba-boom and boom, boom, boom. Okay. So it's showing me a vector too, which is good news. But it's not like doing the thing for it. So if I just toString. I feel like it's gonna be fine. So yeah, let me just see that real quick. Okay, and bonk, bonk. Okay, so it's being done. What is the position then? Oh, dot. Oh, it's got X and Y there. I'll just put down X. That's fine. Print X. All good. Let's have a look. God damn it. What are you doing? I'm looking for a number. You bastard. So what's X then? Vector to control. Yeah. But it's getting an axis control. So, do I need value? Or maybe I can do that and I can do read value. Yeah, I need to do that. Read value. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. I'm what is known as a professional dingus. Alright. There we go. That's better. And of course, down to the bottom left is where 0 is. You see that? 0 is down in the bottom left. And then everything else is... you see that? You can technically measure the screen by clicking as close as you can to the top right. So you can see that my screen, or this window, is currently 814 by 420. Blaze it. You can't actually see that, so I'm just gonna... there it is. It's like down here. Oh, damn it. Hang on. Boom. Oh, hang on. Boom. 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 Oh, this... oh no, it got smaller. What a shame. Okay, it's over here. You can see it on the right here. There it is. 814 by 420. Blaze it. But yeah, so that's where that is. So it's always from the bottom left of the screen, and then X and Y are positive numbers, which is cool. Okay, cool. That's not the default for everything. I know that in many array buffers, or buffers, in screen buffers, usually their X and Y values are top left, match to the top left to be 0. And so if you can imagine each color as an 8-bit value, or in some cases a 4 times 8-bit value, I guess. Yeah, so if you imagine each pixel having a 4 by 8-bit value associated with it, and then you just have those 4 by 8 here, right? And then you have the next bit next to it. And then you just got a big long string of numbers that refers to how bright each individual pixel is. And when you get to the end, you just go to the next line and continue on. So if you've got an 1920 by 1080 screen, which is what I have right now, if you've got a 1920 by 1080 screen, you've got 1920 by 1080 different 4 by 8-bit values. Otherwise known as a 32-bit value. Oh, my back. I'm fine. Okay. If I keep telling myself that, I might believe it. Okay, cool. So I've got this mount.current.position.read value, and that is very important. So I guess draw array from mouse click in Unity. How to draw array from mouse click. Draw array to the mouse position. Okay. Okay, here it is. Screen to world point input.mouse position. Huh? Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna set that up real quick. So I've got camera.main. So camera.main dot screen point array. Oh. Screen to world point is the one that it says over here. Okay. Screen to world point, and then I can do mouse.current.position.read value. Because I can't use input.mouse position because that doesn't work in this instance, I'm pretty sure. Let's just go input.mouse position. Shouldn't be able to use that because I'm using the input class, which is not allowed because I've switched it over. Yeah, I'm not. Oh, it's currently playing. Silly me. Dingus. Oh, look everyone, here we've got a dingus. Boop. Okay, cool. You're trying to use the read the input value. Yeah. Yeah. So I need to like switch it around a bit. So I need to use the other one that I used, which is this one here. Mouse.current position. Read value. Let's give it a look. See. Bonk. So there it is. It's doing the thing. And what was I doing? Oh, I just. All right. So if I do debug.drawLine transform dot position. Well, it's not going to work the way I want it to. Or I can do camera.main.transform.position. There it is. Camera.main.transform.position to screen to well point. There. And I should be able to draw a white line from the camera to whatever I clicked on in this thing. So let's have a look. Unless the line is really tiny. No. Oh, I think I need to have it sustained for a bit because I'm not consistently drawing it. So let me just there, and then I need to look at float. Okay, so I need a color. So color dot red and a duration of 10 seconds. Oh, 1 second. So 1 second is fine. Cool. All right, let's have a look. Ba boom, ba ba booey, ba fuck. All right. Is it at 0? No. Problem. All right, so I need to know what that value is. Okay, let's give it a look. Compiler errors. Oh, fine then. Dingus. Dingus. Whoever wants to hide behind the bleachers and smoke some doobies, raise your hand. Doobies, 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 doobies. So it's always what? 05371, and it changes based off of the X and Y position. Screen. Dang it! That is the that's the position of the mouse technically in the world. That's what that is. But I don't know why it doesn't change the way it should. Unless see, where's the camera? Here it is. And what's X and Y values? Oh, hang on. Game Master itself. Where is it? Oh, there it is. It's up there. So, no, I've got this thingy here for what the X and Y values are. So I guess, because if I do that, it does a Z value. Z. But my issue is that it does a 5.3. It's positive. It should be negative. No, it is positive. That's the position. That's its current position. But this camera here, it's just saying what that is. What the fuck? All right. So I guess I need to do something else here. So instead of dot main, I'm gonna do screen point to ray. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try that. Okay. And I guess I'm gonna draw ray. Screen point to ray. I need to know what the overrides are. So it's the start is transform.position. So camera.main. Oh no, because that returns a ray. I can just say, I should be able to say draw ray. because that returns array specifically, and so I should be able to just draw array, but it doesn't want to do that because it's dumb. Okay, get point 0, and then the same thing, get point, so I can get the direction to be get point 1. Let's see if that works. It's not going to. It's gonna break. But let's just have a look. Boop. Oh, it went in the opposite direction. See that? Pew 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 pew. All right. And I just need to color dot red and then 1. Cool. See if I do it in the opposite direction. Let's try that. Okay. Pew. So where is it going? Pew, 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 pew. It's going all the way up that way, but it seems to be going to like a specific point. All right, I'm gonna make it 10 seconds just so I can see what point that is going to. I'm gonna 100 seconds. 1090 seconds. Let's give it a look. All right, so that it's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, that's very nice. Well, that's at the 0 point. If I then get this to be positive instead, let me just get that done right here. Boom, 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 boom. So that it's still going up that way, but I feel like that's just because it's my fault. But like, oh, that's good. That's really good. That is really good right there. That's very good. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna do dot origin, and then dot direction. There we go. That's what it should be. Not get point 0, get point 1. That's dumb. All right. So that pew 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 should be what it's. Yeah, that's what it is, which is good news. Pew. Pew. Cool. God, cool, Shaggy. All right. I don't know what voice that was. Holy shit. Depth test. Can I do a distance? No. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. I guess you're hitting something, but what are you hitting? You're just doing a distance. Okay, so it's just a distance. That's fine. Well, that's good news. Okay, cool. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast a ray. So ray cast hits. I need ray cast hit Unity. So ray cast hit. Need to remember how to do ray casts. Oh fuck. Where am I? Ray. So the input center here, I'm going to do ray cast hit. Information back from raycast hit RCH equals physics dot ray cast, and I'm going to use this as the value here, so that's going to be that. Physics Because this just checks to see if it does hit something. And that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking specifically... Oh, wait, hang on a second. Hang on a second. Alright, hang on a second. Alright. I need to know what the overrides are for this this function here. So it's got ray, max distance, out, hit info. That's what I'm looking for. So I need to do that, out, and then I can do so RCH ray cast hit RCH equals it's not lowercase c, ray cast hit RCH, just instance it here, and then RCH. There it is. Cool. And now what I can do is RCH dot collider, because I need to actually know what collider I hit. Oh, problem. Not problem. No, good problem. Okay. So I need to make sure that each of the bits have their colliders enabled, because that's the collider that I'm actually going to look for. And I'm going to make the big bit have the, let me just see this big bit here. Its collider is going to be raycast ignore. So raycast is just going to go straight through it. So this bit spawning thing I need to do here, I need to make sure I grab that box collider, and I'm going to do box dot, can I just say, because it's a collider. What? Nanny the fuck. Alright, dot, what's it called? Okay, I think I need to change the tag to that of, no, it's on layer. Yeah, I need to change the layer. So how do I change the layer? I think it's based off of bit base itself. Yeah, layer equals 2. Because its layer itself is going to be based off of, so if I just play that real quick, a bit's going to fall down and it's going to be in ignore raycast, which is good news. But the bits in and of itself are still on the default layer, which is good news. Okay, so I need to open up my bit prefab and just enable that box collider, because I do need it, so it can interact with the rays. Okay, cool. And so this, the bit storage, okay, that's good, because now hopefully it's only going to see that one. So dot collider dot, so it's referencing the collider that's attached, that what the thing hit, and I'm just gonna say name, whatever it hits, whatever, just send me back the name of the object. So I'm gonna print it. Print name, here it goes, and then I'm gonna get rid of that. Easy. Okay, so let's have a look. Hopefully what we'll see in the console is a whole bunch of bit clone. Where's, what the fuck? What is going on? Ah! Ah! Okay, that's because all of the bits colliders are enabled. Ah, that's a shame. I think it's also because they have rigid bodies on them. So what I might do is I might remove, okay, because the flying bit script depends on it. What I might do is I might just pull a sneaky and say add component the add component menu attribute allows you to place a script anywhere in the component menu instead of just the component scripts menu. What the fuck? All right. So I guess I have to do game object.add component. There it is. Add component type of rigid body. Body. Cool. 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 And now I can get rid of this dependency. And that means I can get rid of this rigid body here. So it should stop floating around the place. So if I just get rid of this, remove component, cool. Now whenever the flying bit is enabled, the box should do that. Okay, box flies down, good. Bit clone, there it is. Good news, I got plain bit storage, bit storage, bit storage, bit storage, bit clone. That is what I'm looking for. Excellent stuff. So that means that what I could do is in my input center here, I guess I can just handle it here, it'll be fine. So what I could do is, now that I've got the name of the object, what I can do is if, okay, I'm gonna say, transform hit object equals rch.transform, the collider that was hit. Okay, rch.transform, and then if hit, flying bit fb equals hit object dot get component type of flying bit. Cool. So I've got that flying bit in there, and now I'm going to say if flying bit exists, if that object that I just clicked on does have a flying bit thing, I'm going to fb.enabled equals true. Just enable that flying bit, and now my bits should be able to just out of the bit when I click on it. So let's have a look. So the moment of truth, the moment I've been coding for. Boop, boop. It doesn't fucking do anything. That's a shame. Oh no. Oh no. All right. So I'm gonna grab this boy here, and I'm just gonna try and. So it doesn't do anything. Okay, that's fine. So I'm gonna. Feck. There's flying bits here. That's fine. Oh, nose, itchy. Ah! Alright. I don't need that input value anymore. So transform of the rigid body or collider that was hit. Right. So I got it. Right. And I'm just gonna print hit object dot name, so I make sure I've still got that name, because it could be that I can't. Oh, hang on, I need to there's an override function, because I need to, there's something that says include disabled things. I need to make sure I grab that disabled boy. So let's have a look. So you're not supposed to, you're an ignore raycast. So why am I now suddenly clicking the big bit? That's not what I wanted at all. What the fuck? Alright. You're an ignore raycast. You're on a separate layer entirely. Ah! Alright. You're on the ignore raycast layer. Why am I clicking on it? What the fuck? It was working 2 seconds ago. Ah! Alright, So obviously there's something that I need to do, I guess, in this ray menu. Layer mask. Does this mean it'll only hit the things on that layer, or does that mean it will mask out everything that's on that layer? So let's have a look. If hit object. If hit object, I need to encase all of this in brackets. There we are. All right, cool. Try again. Okay, so I guess it, I guess the layer mask is not including that layer, so I'm just going to put that as 2. So here we go. That's not what I wanted to see. Pew, 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 pew. So nothing's happening. So I guess I'm going to put that back down to 0. Fuck it. I'm just going to... Oh, I should put that back. Dot name. This is what I like to call a fish test. I'll show what it is later on. Okay, so let's give it a look. Okay, null, null, a lot of null. Okay, that's a shame. So I guess 2. I need to put that as 2. Nope. What the hell does layer mask mean anyway? Because the big bit should... It's on the ignore raycast layer, so why are raycasts interacting with it? Bit storage? Fine. Big bit. I don't want... Alright. Oh, okay. Cry... Cry, I cry all the time. All right, so I'm just gonna force it to click on that one thing. It's still not clicking on it. Why? It still thinks it's a big bit. Huh? I feel like that's going around in a circle, but... Oh! Dingus! So, okay, that annoys me. So the collider, the dot transform was actually referring to the parent, I guess, of the object that I clicked on and not the actual object. But if I do collider.transform, then it's going to be the transform attached to that collider that I specifically clicked on. Oh, cool. So now I can break the bit apart, which makes me very happy. Look at that shit right there. Ah, it looks good. It looks good. Look at it go. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I love it. Look at it go. Ah, it's good. It's good. Drill it out. Drill it. Satisfying as fuck, dude. All right. So, good news. All right. So I'm going to, so the basics is that, you start the game off, with just one bit, and this one bit just appears down and you have to click it. Okay. So I need to, I need a bit storage, and then I need to ignore raycast. There we go. Yes. Okay. So now they're all going to ignore raycast, which is fine. Boom. The only thing is that that one specific big bit needs to, I need to make it so that it auto, like straight away just goes straight to the thing. Chamfer. Okay, that's fine. And then when that bit gets killed, when that bit gets put into the bit spawner, or put into the bit storage, I'm gonna immediately upgrade the player to level 2 to introduce the fact that the bits are gonna get bigger. And then boom, big old 2-bit comes in, and then boom, you click it, and then you click it, click it, and then that fully deconstructs, and then you have 8 bits, or you'd have 9 bits at this point to spend. And then at that point, I'm gonna make the first harvester boy that you can buy to be 5 bits, or I like, because I wanna make it because I think I should make the first harvester boy that you get 8 bits, because what I want to do is make it so that instead of just the harvester boy just appearing, what I want to do is I want to have the point, pick a point somewhere in the world. I'm pointing at the screen where I can just use the pointer to put it somewhere in the world, and then I'll have the bits like go to that point and construct a 2x2 square cube, and then like make it just like make the bits sink into the ground to reveal that that's what the bit harvester looks like. And that's what I'm going to do for this, and it's going to be good stuff. So that's cool. I like it. Bonk, and then boing, 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 boing. Whee! Now that big bit still exists. It's still there. And what I want to do is when the big bit reaches 0, the bit of course destroys itself because it doesn't need to happen, and then another bit spawns in. And the other thing I want to do is I want to make it update the collider. So the bits. Oh, excuse me for a sec. Oh, okay. I want it to update the collider so that when you mine through a bit, it still it works, I guess. That's the other thing. But that's what I wanted to achieve right now, and I'm happy. And I think that's going to be it for my live stream today. It was a bit of a wacky ass live stream, but that's because I was not in the animation mindset, and I just just wanted to make sure that I did something, you know. And this is something that I do quite like. I have to say, I really love how the bits like break out, like just sort of explodes out of the bit here. So I think I might make it a thing that even if the I could actually make it so that like the colliders, the rigid bodies of the small bits don't actually interact with the big bit. I can make that a thing. But the only thing is that I don't jive with that. I'd want that to be like a separate, like it spawn into 2 separate models then. So, but yeah. And the other thing I'd want to do is that when you click, if you've got a stack of 2, when you click one of them, both of them will pop in. So that's one thing that I want to do. So yeah. So in order to achieve that, I need to make sure that I have a list, an array of all of the bits that are currently in the big bit, an array of all of those, and specifically the ones that are currently in the big bit, and I need to also have their positions. I wonder if there's like a way that I can like combine colliders into one big collider. Maybe. Because like I imagine, because the thing that I want to do is create an algorithm. Because the algorithm I'm thinking of is an algorithm that will get a whole bunch of colliders, and if 2 colliders are touching, to combine the 2. And I guess one way that I could achieve that is by asking if the min point of a bound is on the x, y, or z plane of the max point, and then say that those two colliders might be next to each other, and then I need to say, all right, I need to see if I can try and get the squares to be aligned or something like that. But eventually I'm going to have an algorithm that will combine colliders together so that I can have that sort of thing happening. And if there's like two distinct colliders, then I'm going to make those two distinct bit storage, the big bits. They're going to be two distinct big bits. But that's going to be the next objective, and that's essentially what I plan on happening. But for now, thank you so very much for joining me on this live stream. It was a bit of a wacky one. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. And thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next stream. But as for now, this is Quillo signing off. Goodbye, and good luck. Alright, that's enough outro. Bye.